Hey, carnivore hunters, this is Rick. You've heard a bunch of carnivores talk about the color of an egg's yolk and the darker, the better, uh, more nutrition, everything else. And so I found this article. We're going to scrutinize it a little bit because there's a little factoid in here I want to point out to you guys that I was unaware of. And so when you go and buy some cheap ass eggs, you may want to think twice about doing it. But let me pull this article up here and we'll get started. So the title, does the color of an egg's yolk mean anything? There's a reason some yolks are darker than others, say egg experts. We all already knew that, or most of us anyways, I would assume. So not all chicken yolks look the same. Some are pale yellow, while some are so orange they're nearly red. Uh, but that, but what does that mean? Are egg yolks like lettuce, where a darker color indicates more nutrients? So this outlet spoke to an egg expert to crack the case. Play on words there again. The color of a chicken yolk, cookbook author and backyard chicken expert Lisa Steele told this outlet, is completely dependent on the hen's diet. I think we all knew that. Steele, who lives in Maine, is the creator of Fresh Egg Daily, a website about raising chickens. She is also the author of Fresh Eggs Daily Cookbook. And here's a pretty good illustration of two different eggs. And obviously this one, assumably, is going to be the more nutrient egg, but just wait a minute. Foods that are high in xanthophyll and carotene. I'm not a nutritionist or a doctor. I had to look these up. Basically, they're antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. So when you hear carnivores talk about not being inflamed anymore, this is why. This is part of the reason, I believe. Xanthophyll and carotene, which are basically pigments called carotenoids, will make nice dark orange egg yolks, she said. Carotene is found in orange-colored foods, she said, such as carrots, mangoes, cantaloupes, and pumpkins. Xanthophyll can be found in leafy green vegetables like spinach and kale. But while a darker egg yolk does not mean a chicken is eating a nutritious, organic, or fresh diet, it will likely correlate, since the food with the pigment are also packed with other nutrients, she said. Again, I think we all knew that. Even so, feed companies, here's where it starts to get interesting. Even so, feed companies and commercial egg farms have discovered workarounds to create a darker egg yolk without these nutrients-dense foods. These companies have gotten smart and realized that consumers want to see a bright orange yolk, so they'll add things like marigold, paprika, sea kelp, corn, alfalfa, and, to artificially boost yolk color. I did not know that. Are they adding it to the feed? I would assume, because they're not going to break the shell to add this stuff. Something I still use to this day. I before carnivore, I used it as an anti-inflammatory and a supplement. I used to use turmeric, and I would sprinkle it on my eggs, and it would turn my spatula. It discolored all my spatulas. So I understand what they're saying here because I've seen it with the stuff I used to do, and still do. I still use turmeric, and I've stated that before. To ensure the most nutritious eggs possible, Steele suggests consumers look for certain labels on the carton at the grocery store, and we all know this too. You want pasture raised or free range. Well, will typically lay eggs with darker, more orange colored yolk because the diet consists mainly of grasses, weeds, and other plants. It is important to note that cage-free and pasteurized are not the same thing. Pasture-raised eggs are the gold standard, uh, Steele said, noting that some cage-free chickens may still be living out their lives in a warehouse. I believe that to be true. The eggs from pasture-raised chickens have less. This is another weird one. Eggs from pasture-raised chickens have less cholesterol and more nutrients because of their healthier, more varied diets. That could be true, I suppose. We're finding out cholesterol is not necessarily a bad thing, and the doctors over the years may have had cholesterol all wrong. There's other videos on our channel about that, so you can look for those. Yolks are not the only thing that come in different colors. Okay, they're going to go into the shells. The shells don't mean anything. It just depends on the chicken that lays them, and that's basically the end of this. I just wanted to point at, the main thing I wanted to point out was the mass producers of eggs are tricking you and adding stuff to make the yolks look darker. I did not know that. I have gone away from buying cheap eggs, although if in a pinch, if I need to get some in a hurry, I'm not opposed to buying them. I just know that they're not going to be as healthy for me. Anyways, thanks for joining Carnivore Hunters. Leave a comment below and let me know what kind of eggs are you eating? Did you know about them changing the color of the yolk? That was very surprising to me. And just let us know your thoughts on this. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you all later.